All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the stream. Are we on YouTube? Hello, hello. And there it goes. Awesome. Hello, welcome back. We're gonna do something a little bit different today, and I'll get to that in a second. So, if you're new, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our future live streams. Check out this beacons link that's in this corner right here, but also in the description of the live stream, you can find all my streaming services and social media, and there you can stream the music that we're gonna talk about today. Because if you look at Logic here, this is not our normal session. It's not the music that we had been working on, because I wanted to kind of bring you guys along on this sort of process of more like orchestration kind of process, and not just compositionally, but um, how does someone go about orchestrating out something and getting it prepared for live musicians, um, getting the sheet music and the score all nice and neat and everything. So that's what we're gonna do today. I realize it's probably not quite as exciting as the creative process of actually getting in and writing music. But this is an important process. Nevertheless, it's just might be a little, tedious and repetitive. So it might not be the most exciting stream today, but that's all right. This is what I'm gonna do every time I kind of go to do the note for note series. So that's what we're doing today. We're essentially creating a YouTube video. We're gonna do kind of the first process of getting one of those videos ready, and that, of course, means taking the music from the DAW, putting it into a score. So that's what we're gonna try and do today. We're gonna do a lot of MIDI cleanup, and we'll probably have time. I don't know how long it'll take. Um, we'll probably get to transferring it into the score today as well. I don't know if I'll continue doing this on the live stream uh, after today. We'll see how I'm feeling, but I just thought it'd be a nice little break from our standard um, music writing stuff. So let's get into this. So what this I have pulled up, and what's going to be the next um, in the note for note series, is movement 1 of my creation symphony, which is the heavens and the earth, um, which I've been planning on doing. Obviously, it's just finding the time to sit down and do it, right? Um, so, all that said, if you remember, if anyone, we didn't do this on stream, but um, if you listen to my music, and of course I do greatly appreciate it, link is in the description, then you might remember, you might know this piece. So I'm gonna, um, let's see, if I turn this up, we can actually listen to it together. Maybe, can we hear that? It's not coming through OBS. Okay, hold on, hold on, hold on. I wonder if because it's not the right, can we hear this? No, we cannot. Okay, Give me a second. I just gotta add on a little. Um, Actually, let me just. We're gonna come here to the audio capture properties. We're gonna capture. Let's do Spotify. Okay, now we should be able to hear this. There it is. So this is the heavens and the earth, the first movement from the Creation Symphony, um, and I have the session, the original session, pulled up here, so we can follow along with it, um, which is essentially just the piano roll that is also on YouTube, right? So you can essentially do the same thing where you follow along with the piano roll and everything. Um, so we're gonna listen to it. I'm gonna play it through Spotify and then I'll just kind of sweep around on Logic. But Very nice, very nice. So that's what we're working with today. Um, so essentially what this session is I duplicated the original, right? So everything's exactly the same, but I'm going to come in here and I'm going to clean up all the MIDI, right? So all these notes, in order to make them transfer into the notation software um, cleanly and more effectively, we're going to have to come in here and clean up everything and make sure it all looks good and is squared to the grid and everything. So that's going to be what we're going to do here. Don't know where we want to start. Might honestly start up here in the percussion, because there's not that much percussion going on through here. It's a lot of the celesta. So we are in 6/8 time. That's important to keep in mind. So we're gonna come in here, and the first thing I'm gonna do, let me just make sure. Might actually hide. If I press, not that button, not that button. Press this button, it hides all the unused tracks. So we can show and hide them. So I don't need all of those tracks. I only need the ones that obviously have information on them. So here we go. This is where the kind of tedium of this process begins. We're going to come in here and we're going to quantize to 100% strength. And then we're going to, let's go, there's a function in here, MIDI, no, it's edit trim. It's shift/. Okay, so this is what I'm going to want to do. I'm going to note end to the following notes with an 8-tick gap. That way they all kind of get equalized in length. This last note here, I'm going to cut to the bar line. We can come in here, do the same thing. Oops, did I press the wrong button? Shift slash, right? That one, there we go. Same thing, I'm going to cut this to the bar line. Jump to the next spot. Quantize. Equalize their lengths. Cut these notes to the bar line, because like the length of these notes is negligible on the celesta, and we can always change that in the notation software if we want to. Here we get a little bit more involved, so let's go. I just want to make sure I'm taking this slow enough that I understand exactly what all the rhythms and links are doing, and nothing's gonna throw me off. And this is all pretty much straight eighth notes. So I can just go ahead and grab them all, quantize them, trim, and I'm fine with the whole note here. They should all be good. Let's jump up to the bowed crotales. Bowed crotales. Now, these are a little more, they kind of come in. Actually, I don't have any of these enabled, so if I wanted to listen to just these samples, I'd have to enable them, which might take a while. But a lot of these are offset due to the sample delay. So if I quantize them, I'm actually going to put them onto the grid. Let's do that, I think. So like even though it's like an eighth note ahead, I know that's because of the sample delay. Is that right? Yeah, let's do that. Let's cut this to the 2 whole notes. Because if we listen to it, if I can find the right spot in the music. Here we go. They're kind of free flowing, not necessarily in time with anything, but I'm gonna make them in time like this just to simplify the process. Oops, grab the notes. So we'll leave it like that. I think it's nice and square. Mark tree throughout here. Can't remember exactly where it begins. We're late. Right. Okay, so it's mark tree. We probably just throw to the beginning of this measure, I think. Or hold on. No, it kind of comes in just before the piano. So the piano comes in at 60, so we might even leave it where it's at, honestly. Okay, let's keep going with our percussion up to the celeste here. Grab everything except for these last 2 notes. And again, same thing. And trim down the last note. Why are we not... I guess the snap doesn't really make that much of a difference. Wondering why it's not actually going on the grid like that. Thank you. When I said it was tedious, I meant it. It's just It's not the most exciting thing, but it's um, important. It's more exciting when we actually transfer it over into the notation software and we're actually working with music notes. Okay, so I remember I was experimenting with the Steinway and the soft piano. I think we went with the soft piano instead of the Steinway. So I don't really need to worry about the Steinway. Actually, no. We used them both because we were doubling that sound here at the beginning. Yeah, I remember we were doubling the sound here at the beginning. Um, but that's all right. They're the same exact notes. Um, right? So I can actually just conform one of them and it will be fine. So let's just do the soft piano. Remember, we're in 6/8 time, so let's we're gonna cause some issues here. Pretty much everything is in eighth notes for the most part, but I'm gonna experiment with these first three bars, quantize them, and then yeah, see that's shortening this lower note. Um, which is fine, but when I get into the actual notation software, I don't want these notes to be shortened. They're gonna be a sustained whole note um, underneath all the eighth notes. So what I want to do, I'm gonna do that just to equalize them all, but then I'm gonna bring them all the long notes back to their full length. So it might be a little tedious of a process, but it shouldn't be too bad. But I'm just gonna take it a few measures at a time, just so I don't um, mess anything up. All right, because if I mess up here, then it will mess up a whole mess of stuff down the road. So I've got to be careful here. That's kind of why I'm not doing this process to the whole line at once, because what I could do instead is take all the long notes and put them in the left hand. So like duplicate the piano line and take all these long notes, put them in the left hand. And I will end up doing that for let's keep them. I will end up doing that for the actual notation. Oops. But for now, just for simplicity's sake, I think I'm just gonna continue going on like this. What does shorten it do? This is the same thing. I don't know. Whatever. So, exciting stuff going on here. All right, all right. This should be an eighth note. So this is all ready to export to MIDI, right? Because it's nice and cleaned up. Everything's equalized and completely flush to the grid. So if I were to import this into notation software, it might have some things it needs to clean up, but it would look all right. Now this next section, you can do the same thing. Or I don't want the notes to be that long, so we'll just go to the double whole note. And a lot of this, of course, is using the pedal, sustain pedal, so the lengths of the notes that are recorded into the MIDI here are not necessarily true to what they should be. I'm quantizing it first just to make sure that there's no huge change in position, because if the position of the notes changes drastically, that means something went wrong with the quantization. How do can I keep? Yeah. There we go. Let's shorten this a little just to the whole note. Okay, so that piano is done. Now this one is a little bit interesting because this is a little bit out of time based on the retardando going on here. So, but generally it is supposed to still be at the eighth note. So let's take it all, clean it up, kind of like that. And that's all right. So our piano is good to go. Our percussion and our piano. Next up, we have choir. We have lots of choir going on here. Start with our female vowel sustains, which are set to O. You know, just super long sustained notes. I'm going to let's do this and take these notes, go all the way to the end where they were, and then these two like that. Okay. We probably, if I take everything, quantize it, right? There's not a lot of variation in its shifting to the quantization, which tells me that all the notes are fairly close to where they're supposed to be. Let's do that. And then I'm going to go through just kind of small section by section and fix up the note lengths. And I might have to actually do this note by note, honestly, because can this quantize? Hello? Um, because it's a lot of overlapping notes. So I'm gonna have to come in here and make their length the same myself. I'd rather have the notes be under and have a gap than be overlapping. Because when you input the notes into the notation software, overlapped notes obviously then just create more notes into the next measure, um, which I've found to be much more annoying and more difficult to work with than if the notes are running a little short of the bar. What did I do? I think I pressed delete. Did not want to do that. So I'm grabbing notes of similar, notes that are supposed to be the same length. So maybe not the most efficient way of doing this when you have so many notes that overlap and layer on top of each other. Don't entirely know how logic decides which one to shorten, right, and where. So, anyways, it all looks good there. A little bit more here at the end, which is sample delayed. Played a little fast, so here we go. That one's easy because it's just a single line. Oh boy. I feel like I just did this one. That's because it's the same line. As this one. Well, not quite. It's a little different. Okay. If I press keep, it shortens. So what's the point of pressing keep? No, I don't want you to delete the notes. What's the point of pressing keep if you're just gonna shorten the overlapped notes anyways? I don't get that. But whatever. No big deal. I can do it myself. This one stops here. This one stops here. This one stops here. This one stops here. This one stops way over here. I don't get why you do what you do, but whatever. It's alright. I'm gonna grab all these notes that are the same length. Thought they would do what I wanted. Dang. Ooh. Stop going over. What are we looking on OBS? We haven't dropped any frames. Wow, it's a new record. These should input just fine, even if the notes are not completely onto the bar line or anything. In fact, the closer they are to the bar line, they'll probably cause more issues than if they weren't. So, I don't know. But whatever, that's fine. It's see, like, this is overlapping. And now it just shortened a freaking mile. Okay. There's our choirs. Onto the strings, the fun ones. Violin 1. An important thing when we actually get into putting it into notation is notating the specific articulation, right? So all these are concertino. So we get into the notation software, it's going to be important that we label them as such. All right, so we got a little fun thing going on here. I can't remember precisely how it was quantized. What is that? What is that? What is that subdivision? And it might not be even have a... Well, when we get into notation software, it's going to need some sort of on the grid quantization. What kind of triplet movement is that? That's not right. Maybe I'll leave it like that and see what Dorico calls it. They're like dotted 16th notes. I guess they're on a 32nd note grid. Whatever. Anyways, it's just a small moment. So let's keep going. Good thing about these is that I'm not dealing with chords. Sure, everything got quantized. I don't think it did. Why are you doing that? Your closest H note is right there. Sir, please stop. Please stop. Your closest eighth note is right here. Please stop. Oh my. What are you doing, Logic? Please cause me more pain. Whatever. It's close enough, I think. I hope. Deal with the struggles now so that when it goes into the notation software, it'll be a breeze. I don't know what the point of keeping these is if it's just gonna cut them off. Also, why? But whatever. There we go. Okay, violin 2 is gonna have a lot more chords going on. So we'll kind of take this one step by step. What is that shortening? That's because I didn't quantize all these. Yeah, okay. Here we go. More chords, lots of chords. Had quite a bit of movement there, actually. Let me go to the quarter note. That's not going to work. Okay, I'm going to take this one step by step as well. I guess that's probably correct. There we go. I know it's riveting footage. So exciting watching me trim these notes. All right, violas. It's gonna get more exciting, I promise. When we export this to MIDI and put it into sheet music, it'll get more exciting. This is just a single line, so it's much, much easier. Goes over to 50. This will be super easy, so I'll just grab all this, quantize it, do that, boom, easy. This is just a single line. When we get chords, that's where a lot of the issues with doing this come from. All right, violas, that was nice and easy. Cello, a little more involved. And you know, the problems arise when you have sustained notes underneath moving notes. Why would you do that? That's why it kind of tries. Oh my gosh. Tries to change up things like that. Takes the long note and shortens it. For some reason, I thought logic was logical, but I could be wrong. But if they're the same value, then it should be good. We also have a cello solo coming up here. Oops, wrong button. Where'd we go? Where are we off to? These are all the same value length, so these ones all kind of quantize nicely. Okay. Okay, so we have this solo line. I know these are supposed to be on the grid like that. There was quite a bit of sample delay with the solo cello. Um, I mean, even though I do have some, you know, negative track offset, but whatever. Um, these are gonna quantize. It's supposed to be like a duple thing. So even though we're in 6/8 time, it's supposed to be like instead of a 1 2 3 1 2 3, it's supposed to be a 1 2. Like I don't know however you do it. We go to the 32nd note. That should put it on the grid fairly well. Okay. Now this is where we get maybe a little squirrely. If we listen to this part in the cello, it's like this note should be on the downbeat, right? And there was track delay, so that's why the notes are a little ahead of the beat. So let me move these quantized to the 32nd note. I think we do that, honestly. I think that's probably the best way to go. That should be right here. Because if we continue listening to it, that doesn't sound right. I guess that is correct. It just seems. This seems a little early, honestly. I think it's supposed to be like this. I mean, I could leave it as the quantization that it's at. Where's my 6/8 grid? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bup, 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 bup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, da 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 da, dee dee dee. This is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, I think. It's supposed to be like this almost. Gosh, I actually don't know. The track offset is throwing me off. So what is that? Let's go back to the beginning of this solo. Am I crazy? I might just be crazy. One, two, three, four, five, six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I might actually just be crazy. I don't know. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. I think I'm losing my mind here. Dee 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 da dee da dee 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 ba da 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 dee da dee. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I am losing my mind. I'm going way too slow. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's try. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Ah, my gosh, what is wrong? Do I know how to music? Lost. I've lost my entire mind. Why did I write the rhythm so weird? Okay, hold on. So here's the cello and the piano. Maybe I should enable the cello. Hopefully it won't take too long to load. But it probably will. Take your time, cello. We're only waiting on you. Okay. And I need to turn on my piano. Soft piano is from, this is a small library, so this shouldn't take too long to load up. One would think, but you never know. I think the next piece that I write after the kind of like aggressive combat music that I'm currently doing um, is going to be a soft piano piece. Oh my gosh, can you take any longer? Good lord. Okay. Trying to hear the offset cello and line that up with where it's supposed to be. So this is right. This sounds like it's coming on the downbeat. Or maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just overthinking it and it's actually written the way I intended. I can't remember. I wrote this over a year ago, and this is the first time I'm actually trying to clean up the MIDI and put it into notation. Right, so it's been over a year since I've even opened up this session. Um, these are supposed to be on these downbeats though. Yeah, so these are definitely supposed to be on the downbeats here. Um, I mean, this would be fine. I just can't for the life of me remember if that's what I intended. Because if I increase this length to right here, then this becomes the longest note, and that throws off the whole pattern. I mean, kinda. I don't know. I think I leave it like this, and then when we get into the notation software, maybe we'll make some more decisions on how we want that to actually be represented. So anyways, let's continue on. Let's go ahead and mute you for now. Let's just continue, and we'll deal with the fallout um, when we get there. When we put it into notation software, it'll cause issues, but yeah, it's all right. So we're going to keep going back through here, quantizing and shortening these notes. There's a lot of overlap just because specifically for like the legato patches, things had to be overlapped so we get good legato transitions between notes. I do actually want to rest there. This will go to the bar line. 101. What else was doing that pattern? I forget. Well, some of these can be smoothed over in the notation. I'm not going to worry about it. Quantize you all. Shorten all our notes. Again, we have mixed note lengths, so we get some that get chopped. We need to bring them back out. Just is what it is. But it's when we go through all the trouble of doing this, it'll work itself out in the notation software. It'll look nice and neat, and we will avoid a lot of frustration when we get there. I think that was our last show of the cello. So our last one is here in the basses. Let's see, this is all pretty square. Sorry, I know the basses don't get the most exciting notes all the time. I also got to do these two notes as well. All right. There you go, basses. You get a little more intrigue going on. You're not gonna tell me every single time. I don't even remember what was going on here. Oh, right. That's this section right here. Right. Okay, so this is all, pretty square and can have the same treatment like that. All right, our last region is basically just a repeat of some of the earlier stuff in the basses. So we're just gonna come in here and do the same thing and grab all the notes of the same length. Oh, shoot. Boom. And we are done. That's not too bad. It took us about a little over an hour. So what we're going to do next, I'm going to turn these off again. I don't need them. What's going to happen now is we're going to export this as MIDI. Can you see this? Yeah. And we have our correct thing. So let's just, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we've exported our MIDI. Now what's going to happen? Oh, I shouldn't have closed it. I probably need that, actually. We're going to switch over to... I'm on this side. We're going to switch over here. We're going to open up Dorico. As soon as it's done. Ah, do we see this? We do not see this. Okay. Give me a second. Gotta work with OBS here. Maybe if I open up the actual project, it will fix itself. Oh, I gotta find the project file. Here we go. Open. Do we see this now? We do not. Properties. Dorico. Window capture, application capture, Dorico. Okay, now we see it. Okay, so now's the exciting stuff. So we got all this. These are all of the MIDI tracks that I just exported out of Logic. I'm gonna go to the advanced editor. So what I want to do is, you'll see that a lot of these are like duplicated sort of tracks, and that's because it creates a different MIDI file for each technique or each articulation or whatever. I don't know why the celeste is on so many tracks. Some of them only have like one note. I don't know, that's strange. Maybe it's because of the regions. I don't know. It's a good question. Maybe I'll figure that out later. Anyways, but I'm gonna take each of these that are on the same instrument. So like celeste, for example. I'm gonna come over here and got all 5 of them selected. If I collapse them down like this, that'll put all of the MIDI tracks onto the same stave, right? So I'll do the same with the mark tree. The piano we don't need this piano, so I'm going to unclick it. The soft piano, however, we're going to put all onto one. The choirs, I'm going to do 3 separate choir staves. And then if I want to condense them down, I can do that later. I'm going to leave these 3 separate choir staves, though. Violin 1s, we got a lot of violin 1 tracks. Well, I say a lot, it's only 3. Violin 2, viola, cello. I might leave the cello. So no, we can. I'm gonna leave the soloist as its own track, and then we'll condense it down a little bit later. Because I know if I put them on the same track right now, it'll cause issues. So let's put all the longs onto one track, and then our basses onto one track. Did it export the click? Can I see that anywhere? I don't think so. Anything in the import options I need to know about? Okay, press OK, see how it looks. Oh, there's our click. It's called click. I don't know why it's called click. That's weird. Okay, here's what it put in for us. How do we look on OBS? Am I fine over here on this side? This side now? As opposed to the right side? Whatever, doesn't matter. So, lots of things that we need to clean up inside of here. It brought in these first two measures, which I actually do need to open up Logic just to reference. Shouldn't have closed that. I was going a little too hastily. Do we see... Oh, whoa. Move over here. Aha, we do have Logic. Okay. Move over here. Okay. How's this look? Are we good? We can see both of them, right? Yeah. Okay, so essentially what is happening is that it took these first two measures, because I always leave two measures at the front just for spacing reasons. But obviously we don't need these. So we're going to just delete them real quick. I'm also going to delete these markers because I don't need... Are there any other markers? Don't need that marker. I'm going to come through here and delete some of the unnecessary things. Anything that kind of jumps out immediately as being unnecessary. Whoa, double bass is not having a good time over here. Ah, yes. Here, so here it brings in, it puts little markers for the tempo changes. So that is right here. Logic obviously just has a fade up in tempo or a gradual increase, but Dorico creates that tempo marking every single beat. So that's why you get this monstrosity of markers here. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually just going to highlight them all, start deleting them, because we don't need them. Because I will actually just write out the words, you know, accelerando or whatever. So the downbeat of 89, we should be at 112. So I'm going to go ahead and just come in here, oops, and add in a little tempo marker. And we start our increase at 86. Now it is halfway through 86, but whatever, I don't care. I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna take off the line. I don't care about the... I don't want the line. Line style. I don't want the line. Why isn't there no line option? Okay, whatever, that's fine. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So there, that takes care of our tempo. We have 108 start. Speed up over here. 112. And then at 101, we retardando back down to 108, I believe. So at 101, 101 to 103. Yeah, that's right. So same thing, just delete all these. And we're going to add in our tempo ripped. And then at 103, we're going to add in our, I could say like tempo primo, but the difference in tempo is not huge enough to warrant a tempo primo. Any other tempo changes we got going on here? 147. We get this kind of extreme tempo change, but it's essentially just a retardando, like if a conductor was doing it. So I can just use words rather than need to put in all these tempo flags and quarter note equals 48, right? That's not necessary. We can actually just delete that. So at 147, that's when it starts. I might change the wording of this, but for now, that is fine. That'll serve our purposes. All right. So we have our thing. I don't know why it's called click. We're gonna actually name this creation and money subtitle. We're gonna use Roman numerals 1, the heaven and the earth. Composer is me. Composition year was 24. I'm gonna rename the flow as well because it doesn't need to be called click. Okay, so this is where things get a little kind of granular and annoying. Just kind of making sure the setup and everything is correct. Like Cortales and Mark Tree will be on, the same percussion stave rather than well, actually no, the Cortales are bowed, so I might actually keep them separate. But I'll put them all onto the same person. Actually, now that I think about it, they all happen at the same time, so they'll have to be different people. Whatever. I'll leave it like this for now. I don't care. So, go to galley view. You should see a straight across picture of everything. And this is where the fun begins of making sure everything here is matched up. Oh, look, it even put them on the left hand. That's so nice of them. So this is where the fun begins of making sure everything looks good. And this is where a lot of that effort that we went through to um, clean up the MIDI really is helpful, right? So what I'm actually going to do, just for the sake of brevity, is I'm going to come here, the piano. Where is it at? Piano, 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 keyboard. I'm going to come here. I'm going to do another pedal marking. But then I'm going to put a little just notation that says simile. You put it below. Put it right up. And when I actually go to actually put this into the print, I'll fix the kind of spacing here. So this is kind of where things get interesting, because you start thinking about engraving and how everything's gonna look, right? Like I can take this and actually move it around. And so this is where I get a little obsessive about making sure everything is nice. Because like if you were to present this to a pianist and you gave them this marking and the simile was like way over here, right? Like what does that even mean? Right? I want to be as clear as possible, so I'm gonna tuck it right up next to the pedal marking so that any live musician knows. Oh, it changes in the write mode, but in engrave mode, and this is how it will come out in print. Any musician would know, they would see this and they would see it immediately followed by the same, the Italian word for same or whatever it is. And no, oh, okay, I gotta do the same sort of pedal pattern as was presented just before it, right? So I don't have to do a pedal pattern the entire thing. Um, so, anyways, it's a tangent, but it also cleans up the page where I don't need so many pedal markings, so I can delete all these because the kind of idea of the same pedal marking just continues throughout. So we get here to 36. Our chords are getting thicker here. But it's still this kind of same stuff. And then 52, we're gonna cut off. Yep, that's fine. Now that the music changes, this is where I would change my um, pedal notation. So we can do that now. In fact, I'll just push this to back here. How do I add a little bump in it? Like this thing. I don't actually know. So I might just honestly put them in myself. And this should be here actually. Like so. Same thing, each kind of chord grouping is a different pedal marking. This is exciting, I know. Okay, now things are going to get a little interesting. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come over here and filter, grab all these pedal lines because I want to change their continuation to not have that line. I think actually, you know what? I will do the sign at the end, but this means I do need to adjust the ending point, right? I gotta put the end where the next one begins. And just shift them over a little bit. The exciting life of an orchestrator. Also, of course, need to make sure this is all correct because this is what's going to be going up on the note for note on YouTube. So, anyways. Oh my gosh. All right. So when we're thinking about the choir, It's not necessarily like an SATB choir. Um, is this correct? I don't think this is correct. I think it should be right here. So it's like things like that. Like, right, why is this held over? I gotta, come in here and clean it up a little bit. Fort 16, actually. We should have 3 notes there, yeah. Gonna sparse down a little bit. Like, oh, we're getting pretty funky in here now. I think I know why. Gotta come in here and kind of change the voices. So our ties and our slurs and whatnot um, don't trample each other. Why this bottom note is continually. You know what I might do instead? I might take this bottom note and push it down to the lower um, whatever, lower stave of the choir. I think that probably looks better. You got a 5-part choir going on here. Yeah, who cares? Doesn't need to be entirely accurate. Plus, you'd be able to have 5-part choir in real life. Happens all the time. Why is our tie kind of like flip around on itself though? Hmm. Let's push this up here. Yeah, that's better. What are you? You should be up stem voice 1. Do we push this one up as well? What's going on here at 43? Oh, that's right. Not entirely sure why I wrote this little gap in here, but we can mend that with oh, it's because it that goes up to the melody. Um, I usually take off this tie to this note so it can be a little. And what we can actually do is um, come in here and put. Where would it be? I want to just a normal just breath mark. Um, here's why did we go way over there? Right there. Yeah, that'll be fine. I don't know why it gives us these random slurs that go across a million bars. Um, kind of depends on what voice is given to it. So here we have the other choir come in. If I take all these notes and I drop them down, that I think would be fine. Just kind of making sure I. Where did these notes come from? What the heck? This is the thing with Dorico. It's just like the voicing up stem, down stem things can get a wee bit confusing. I don't think it looks bad, you know. Until we, of course, bring in this note, which actually might be. Yeah, it's just doubled, so we can actually delete this note. Um, because that's just doubled from the kind of mixture of the choir samples. So it'd be a little redundant to keep that in there. This top note needs to go up. Actually, no, that's a doubled note, so we can delete this one. Yep, that'll work. It's a lot of stuff going on there. Lots of whole notes and whatnot in the choir, but that's okay. Oh, we got our other choir up here. That's right. I might, um, because that's the only other choir stuff we have, I might take all these notes and drop them down to the choir 3 line, just so that all the choir notes across the board are on the same grand staff. Because the difference in the samples for sheet music purposes is not important. So I think this is fine. Long notes, long notes, long notes, long notes, lots and lots of long notes. It all looks good. Now it doesn't. What bar is that? It'll be at 135, I believe. Why? Oh, it's because this note. See, this is a mistake in the MIDI. Um, this note hung over, and I just missed that, so that's why it caused some issues. Also, I have to break the tie in order to change that, so it's weird. There we go. You should be up. I'm actually going to take these bottom notes here. No. Dorico's a little weird with your selections. I'm only trying to grab the bottom. Trying to grab the bottom notes and not this. Oh, Dorico, you are going to be the death of me. Thank you. Change those to the down stem. Again, we already saw this. This is I'm gonna have a breath mark going on here. Before, like that. Is that how the other one looked? Can't remember. Yeah, similar. Okay. Lots of notes. It all looks good. Final chord looks good. I think our choir and our piano, actually our piano, we have more to do. Um, but I think we're gonna end the stream here because I'm tired. Um, and this is just endlessly boring. I don't know if we're gonna stream the rest of this process because I want to keep working on it over the weekend. Um, and try and get the video for this out. Um, maybe before December. I don't know. Um, so we're gonna end the stream here. Thank you everybody for coming out and bearing with me as we kind of explore something a little different, more on the orchestration side of things and the MIDI cleanup and everything, which is not necessarily exciting, but it is certainly an important part of what goes into getting music ready for live musicians, for film and TV and everything. But as well, just for me personally, it's kind of the process that I have to do to create these just both scores for myself or for the note for note videos, which obviously I do have to create scores for. Um, so it's a little bit of a peek inside on kind of what goes on when doing all that stuff. So I know it's not terribly exciting, but I hope you enjoyed it nevertheless. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss our next live stream on Monday at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. If you want to listen to the music that we're actually working on today, check out the Beacons link here that has all the streaming services. It's from the Creation Symphony, the first movement. It's also up on my YouTube channel, so you're watching this on YouTube. Just go on down to the YouTube channel, and you can find the music there. And while you're at it, you can like and subscribe. I don't know. It's just something. I'm just a floating talking head saying that. I don't know. But we will be back on Monday, and we will be back to our normal music writing stuff on Monday. So looking forward to it. Thank you everybody for being here, and I will see you then. Goodbye.